No one expected the Washington Commanders to come out here and hire one of the most talented coaching staffs in the NFL going into 2024. Not only do you acquire a great defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn, who is going to, do so many good things here with this defense, but you also bring in a guy like Kliff Kingsbury, who is going to make this offense one of the best in the NFL in the next couple of seasons. And then you also bring in Brian Johnson, and now we're just starting to hear that they have brought in another big offensive-minded coach here to the staff, and former Chargers head coach and 49ers coach as well. Anthony Lynn is on his way to the Washington Commanders, as the Commanders are slowly building a super team in terms of coaching staff. The guys that they brought in are elite, and this is why in this video we're going to break down why I believe this Commanders team next season is going to benefit so much from the new coaching staff. But more importantly, I'm going to break down to you guys what the Commanders need to do in this draft to make sure 2024 is so different from last season. Before we get into the video though, comment down below who is your favorite coaching hire for the Commanders so far. There's been so many of them. But also, comment down below who is the one player you think the Commanders need to draft with the number 2 overall pick, or even trade up for the number 1 pick. We all know who Kliff Kingsbury coached in college. But do they go out and bring in a guy like Jaden Daniels, Drake May? Did they go free agency-wise for quarterback? What do you guys think the Commanders should do? Let's jump into the video. Now, the first thing I really want to talk about, just because this news is so fresh, Anthony Lynn coming over to Washington as a running game coordinator. Guys, this is huge. Anthony Lynn, a former running back himself, has served as an offensive assistant for several franchises since the beginning of his coaching career in 2000. He was a Chargers head coach from 2017 to 2020, compiling a 33-31 record with a 1-1 postseason record as well. Listen, Anthony Lynn has the experience of being a head coach, right? He's not coming over here being an offensive coordinator. He's not going to be a defensive coordinator. He is specifically utilized in the running game, which is going to be amazing for the Commanders. Just think about it. You have a guy with a former head coach resume, but only coming over here to, solidify one area of your football team. You know how good that is, guys? Listen, the Commanders last season ranked number 32 in rush attempts per game. Obviously, they could never get a run game going at times because they were, down in games. But they also ranked number 26 in rush yards per game and number 16 in rushing touchdowns per game. They have Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson, 2 running backs that I really do like in terms of, Antonio Gibson catching the football at the backfield, and then Brian Robinson is just a dog. So I feel like Anthony Lynn coming over here already has the unit, the running backs, set up in order to succeed at a high level. I think Anthony Lynn is going to make sure this running game gets going, and they're going to be able to use it a lot. But not only Anthony Lynn is good, but also, if you guys didn't hear, Kliff Kingsbury is going to be massive. Here's why. Okay, guys, before we jump into Kliff Kingsbury and what he brings to this Commanders team, which is absolutely insane, by the way, do me a big favor and hit that like button. I don't post too many Commanders videos, but I want to start just because this new look coaching staff gives me a lot of hope about where they're going and what direction they're heading. So if you want to see more Commanders videos, do me a favor, hit that like button. If this video gets up to 200 likes, I'll post another video keeping you guys updated with the Washington Commanders offseason. But also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free, it doesn't cost anything, and if you guys want to see unlimited Commanders content for the rest of the offseason and next season, join the family. Okay, now let's get into Kliff Kingsbury. This guy is a difference maker in terms of developing an offense in the NFL. Back when he was with Arizona, the man had multiple seasons where he led, or he helped lead, the offense to top 5 seasons under Kyler Murray and that air raid type of system. But Kliff Kingsbury, the most important thing that we need to know is the fact that he is a genius when it comes to helping quarterbacks develop. And he has a long list of guys that he's been working with that look really good, especially when they're being coached by Kliff Kingsbury. He puts them in the right situations. Now, when these players leave him, they don't look as good anymore. But for example, let's talk about some of these quarterbacks. Now, the first quarterback he worked with was Johnny Manziel, and we all know how good Johnny Manziel was back in college. Yeah, led him to, breaking Archie Manning's record for most offensive yards gained in a single game. Yeah, he had more than 550 yards in just one game. Johnny Manziel won the Heisman Trophy, had 93 touchdowns and over 9,900 yards, right? But then he went to Texas Tech as the first-time head coach. You know who he coached there? Patrick Mahomes, who is now one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And then he was, sent to the was hired to the Arizona Cardinals, where he made Kyler Murray one of the best quarterbacks at the time, right? Made the Pro Bowl, had 26 touchdowns, was a top 2 offense in the NFL. They were really, really good. Kyler Murray was also the Rookie of the Year, right? And then, more recently, this is probably the most important fact. Kliff Kingsbury is coming off a job where he coached Caleb Williams. Now, the biggest question surrounding this Washington team right now is this man right here, Caleb Williams. Is he going to Washington? Is he going to be a Commander? I don't know. With Kliff Kingsbury coming over here to Washington, where he was coaching, Caleb Williams, I think this is something that's very interesting. However, a lot of people believe that Sam Howell could be the future as well. And right, the Commanders do not own the first pick of the draft. Everyone is thinking the Bears are locked in on drafting this man right here. However, we don't know if that is the case. The Bears could easily say, you know what, let's take Marvin Harrison Jr., let's keep Justin Fields, let's trade back, right? And if any of that happens, Caleb Williams is up for grabs. Right? So I think there's a big, question mark surrounding who the future quarterback is going to be for this team. And real quickly, guys, go tell me right now in the comments, who do you think the quarterback should be, and who do you think it will be by the start of next season for Washington? But also, if you guys go check out BetUS, my absolute favorite sports book in the world, they have a live sports casino, a live regular sports casino, horse, everything you could think of, and they're giving away 125% match deposit bonus. So whatever you deposit right away using my promo code in the description, they'll basically match it 125%. Just giving you free money. And they gave away Super Bowl tickets this season. So I'm just excited to see what they're going to do next. You can, place a bet on who you think the Commanders quarterback is going to be. Who is going to be the first pick of the draft? Go win some money real quick. But that's the big question. Who is going to be the quarterback? And let's just say Caleb Williams goes 1. Jaden Daniels is still there at number 2. Is Jaden Daniels a guy that the Commanders could want as well? But I think for the Commanders, anything is up for grabs. And I love what they did to this coaching staff, especially offensively with Brian Johnson coming over from Philadelphia, Kliff Kingsbury coming over from USC. I think this offense is going to be a lot better. I mean, just think about what they've done to, the quarterback room, right? In terms of, adding a guy like Kliff Kingsbury. He has so much success with quarterbacks that I think you can bring in, quite frankly, anybody from this draft, or someone from free agency, or even keep Sam Howell, and I think Kliff Kingsbury can turn them into a really good football player. But in the couple of days from now, I'm going to be dropping a whole Jaden Daniels video, and I'm going to cover why I think he should be the next quarterback of the Washington Commanders. Now, before we get into that, I need this video to get up to 200 likes. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and comment down below, who do you think the Commanders are going to snag in this year's NFL draft? With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.